This is the Pastel analysis for Germany. Germany, or the Federal Republic of Germany, is a country located in north-central Europe, whose capital is Berlin. Germany borders the Baltic and North Sea between the Netherlands and Poland. Germany is about 137,847 square miles, which is roughly the size of Montana here in the United States. Germany has a wide variety of landscapes across the country. This includes the Alps, central German uplands, and the North German plain. Germany has a population of 82,600,000 people. This population is made up of different ethnicities, which include German, Turkish, and other. The graph here shows the gender of the population in Germany and the US. This next graph shows how the population is broken up by age. In both countries, the majority of the population lies between the ages of 25 and 54. The next thing that we will discuss in this Pastel analysis is political. The political system in Germany is a federal parliamentary democracy. This democracy has a president, but this president's role is only ceremonial with limited powers. The president is Frank-Walter Steinmeier, while the head of the government is the federal chancellor, which is Angela Merkel. Political freedom is measured by the Freedom House Index. Number 1 is the most free, while number 7 is the least free. This is separated into 3 categories, which is political rights, civil liberties, and freedom rating. In all 3 of these categories, Germany has 1s. Under the Heritage Foundation's Economic Freedom Index, which is from 1 to 100, 100 being the most free, Germany is at 95, while America is at 89. Corruption is not a problem in the country of Germany. The rule of law in Germany expressly protects the rights of the citizens. This includes property rights and other, while in America, our rights are protected under the Bill of Rights.
Economic freedom is currently at 44,270 USD, both internet and press being free, similar to the United States. The currency, euros, exchange has sat a little over €1, currently being at 1.11 for each US dollar. The human development for Germany overall is greater than the US, currently standing at 92.6, whereas the US is at 92. Their life expectancy is currently at 81 years of age, whereas the United States is at 79. The average income for Germany is sitting at 45,000, and as far as their work and vulnerability, their age is currently at 58. GDP has been at a steady pace for over the past 10 years, where it currently is at 3.46 trillion at the end of 2016. Their GDP growth at an annual percentage reflects it growing by a few percentage since 2014, starting at 1.59 until 2006 being 1.86. Their top exports are machinery, transports, chemicals, instruments, and plastic and rubber. And their imports are currently machine, transports, chemicals, metals, mineral products. Exports from 2006 to 2016, based on their top 5, are shown to have decreased, whereas their imports from 2006 to 2016 have shown to even decrease more than their exports. The FDI outward flow has decreased over the past 2 years from 92 million to 37 million. As for their inward flow has increased since 2013 when it was at negative 3 million to 2016 being 12 million. For their stocks, both outward and inward have been parallel to each other with a difference of a percentage of 20. In 2016, outward and inward were at 38% and 23% respectively. Inflation has shot up since 2015, where it was currently at 1.0, whereas 2017 currently it is at 1.76%.
Now onto the sociocultural portion. The German education system produces high-performing students, but it is different from the ones in other countries. As in the United States, The 16 German states are responsible for education, but there is a national conference of state education ministers that serve to coordinate educational practices. The German primary and secondary school system compared to the United States is a rather complicated one, in which there are sometimes as many as 5 different kinds of secondary schools, usually starting at age 5 or 6. Children aged 3 to 6 may attend kindergarten, but after that, school is compulsory, with various paths leading to academic, higher education, advanced technical training, or a trade. Germany has a compulsory school attendance law that requires school attendance from age 6 to 15, making homeschooling illegal. According to the PISA numbers of 2015, Germany's numbers are slightly higher than in the United States in mathematics, reading, and science. Germany is a multilingual country with about 67% of the Germans having the ability to speak at least one foreign language, and 27% of the German population can speak 2 foreign languages. Standard German is the official language of Germany, and the writing system uses the Latin script. Upper and Lower Sorbian is a minority language in Germany with about 0.09% of the population that speak it. The minority West Germanic Frisian language is spoken by about 10,000 people in the North Frisia region of Germany. Other minority languages spoken in Germany are Romani and Danish, with around 0.0% of Germany's population speak the Roman languages and 0.06% speak Danish. A little over 60% of Germans identify as Christians, with the 2 main Christian churches, the Catholics and the Protestants. Certain geographic areas of Germany tend to have more Catholics or Protestants. The south and far western regions are predominantly Catholic, and the north, central, and southeast regions are mostly Protestant. 2 to 4% of the population are Muslims, which are mostly Turks living in Germany. All other religious denominations put together amount to 1% of the German population. Roughly 35% of Germans are non-religious, claiming no membership in a church or religion at all, which could be more of a financial decision because the German government collects a church tax that supports the Catholic and Protestant churches as well as some Jewish communities. Many Germans avoid the church tax by legally declaring to the state that they are not a member of any church. When comparing the Hofstad's Index, Germany and the United States have similar dimensions, excluding individualism and pragmatism. Germany is truly individualism, scoring a 67 compared to the United States at a 91, meaning that the German society has small families with a focus on the parent-children relationship and has a strong belief in the ideal of self-actualization. Germany has a high score of 83 on pragmatism, meaning that they are a pragmatic country compared to the United States that scored a 26, meaning that we are more normative. Regarding Trompenaars measures, Germany and the United States scored rather closely. However, we do not have data on Germany on the specific versus diffuse dimension. On the achieved versus ascription dimension, Germany scored lower than the United States, meaning that the Germans believe that status is based who you are and what you do rather than who you are at the social level. According to the Human Development Index from 1990 to 2015, both Germany and the United States has grown, but Germany grew significantly more than the United States from 1990 to 2010. In 2015, Germany was only slightly lower than the United States. Moving along to the technological portion of our PESTEL model, there are significant more amount of patent applications in the U.S. than in Germany. Germany's applications have not really gone up or down in the past 13 years compared to the United States, which has decreased and increased over time. For more than a decade, Germany's R&D expenditures has been rising. Germany has raised its spending on research and development, with the auto industry being a key driver. Looking at the graph comparing the US and Germany, Germany is slightly higher in their spending on R&D.
Like many industrialized nations, Germany also faces the issue of air pollution, but unlike other nations, this situation is increasingly getting out of hand for Germany. There are dangerous levels of air pollution in many different cities. In 2011, a disastrous nuclear incident called Fukushima happened, which was devastating for the entire country of Germany. Chancellor Angela Merkel decided that it was in Germany's best interest to halt their experiments with nuclear projects as a result of Fukushima. The air pollution was at an all-time high in 2012. Although German emissions are still among the highest in the European Union, the German government is taking steps to correct this. The German government has recently started initiatives to reduce pollution, regulate emissions, and use nuclear power instead of coal. Germany also has a strong focus on renewable energy. As it is the largest European economy, the burden of being the most responsible lies on its shoulders. Much like the United States, Germany is located in a temperature climate zone. However, Germany experiences moderate seasons that are dominated by humid westerly winds. The climate is further tempered by warm weather that is carried into the North Sea by the North Atlantic Drift, which is the northernmost part of the Gulf Stream. Much of Germany's extensive geography is covered in arable land amounting to a third of the nation's acreage. Of the remaining two-thirds, nearly the same amount again is covered by forests or woodlands and pastures, and cities make up the rest. The animals that are commonly found in the region include fish, boars, foxes, badgers, a few beavers. Also, birds migrate across Germany during their flight season in the spring and autumn. Germany's legal system is a civilian system whose highest source of law is the 1949 Basic Law for the Federal Republic of Germany, which also serves as the nation's constitution. Germany has 5 basic types of courts. Each of the 16 German states has its own constitutional court and a hierarchy of ordinary to specialized courts. Germany's international property rights score has increased by 0.228 to 7.959, placing it 10th in the Western Europe region and 16th in the entire world. Germany is classified by the International Monetary Fund as part of the Advanced Economies Group and by the World Bank as a high-income country. Germany has a powerful legislation in regards to the protection of intellectual property. The regulations refer to copyright, trademark, design, utility model, and patient protection. Germany has been a member of the World Intellectual Property Organization since 1970.
Now moving on to the SWOT analyst model, where we talk about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Germany has a lot of strengths as they are the largest European economy, they have an educated workforce, friendly FDI policies, and they have the port of Hamburg, which is the 9th largest port in the world, which makes it extremely well for exporting their goods. Moving to weaknesses, they have high tax rates, tax on everything. They have demanding employees and high costs. The military is one of the worst in the world, and that's because the government only spends 1.5% of the GDP towards the military. They have an aging population, and that means that the birth rate is extremely low. Moving to opportunities, they are located in Europe, which makes it extremely well for getting to know other countries. They are in an open market. The industries for technology are great, as in Germany has the top of the line technology industry. And then tax incentives. Threats, they are in a very mature market, which means everybody around them has been around for a while. They are always in debt, and there are developing countries that are connected to that are trying to do the exact same thing they are doing, which leads on to competition. Every country in the world has competition, and over in Europe, it's all over the place. Thank you. I interviewed my longtime best friend who is currently serving in the military station in Vicksburg, Germany. I asked him 2 questions. What is the biggest import and exports in Germany? And what is the biggest culture difference there in Germany than here in the United States? And here are his responses.
Hi, my name is Michael Kyneth. I'm in the U.S. Army and I'm stationed in Vilseck, Germany. To answer your first question, the biggest imports petroleum, and the biggest exports going to be vehicles such as Audi, BMW, and Mercedes. And to answer your second question, the biggest cultural difference is they're very festive people. They hold festivals all the time, such as music festivals, beer festivals, all sorts of stuff.